Genesis. Behind the Story. Episode 7. Jacob Meets Rachel. Based on Genesis 29, 1-20. Welcome back to Stories by Anna. What if I told you that after running for his life, Jacob would arrive at a well, and within moments meet the woman he would love for the rest of his life, not through a dating app, not through a family introduction, but through a divine appointment beside a well. After leaving Bethel and the incredible dream God had given him, Jacob continued his journey toward the land of his relatives. Eventually, he arrived in the region where the people of the East lived. As he approached, he noticed a well in a field. Nearby were several flocks of sheep lying around it. The well was covered by a large stone. Jacob soon learned that the shepherds would normally wait until all the flocks had gathered before rolling the stone away and watering the sheep. While Jacob was speaking with them, he asked where they were from. They replied that they were from Haran. Jacob became excited. This was exactly where he had been sent. Then he asked a very important question. "Do you know Laban?" The shepherds smiled. "Yes, we know him." Then they added something that would change Jacob's life forever. "Look, here comes his daughter Rachel with the sheep." Imagine that moment. Jacob had traveled hundreds of miles. He had left everything behind. And now, standing in the distance, was Rachel. The Bible tells us that Rachel was a shepherd. She cared for her father's flock. As she approached the well, Jacob sprang into action. The scripture says that Jacob rolled the stone away from the mouth of the well and watered Laban's sheep. Then something unexpected happened. Jacob kissed Rachel, and he began to weep aloud. These weren't tears of sadness. These were tears of relief, tears of gratitude, tears from a man who had finally arrived where God wanted him to be. Jacob explained who he was. Rachel immediately ran home and told her father Laban. When Laban heard the news, he rushed out to meet Jacob. He embraced him, kissed him, and welcomed him into his home. Jacob stayed with Laban and shared the story of his journey. As time passed, Jacob began working with Laban's flocks. And during that time, his feelings for Rachel grew stronger and stronger. The Bible tells us that Rachel was beautiful in form and appearance. Jacob loved her deeply. So when Laban asked what payment he wanted for his work, Jacob made an incredible offer. "I'll work for you 7 years in return for your younger daughter, Rachel." 7 years. Can you imagine that? Working 7 years for the opportunity to marry the woman you love. But Jacob believed Rachel was worth it. Laban agreed, and Jacob began working. The Bible gives us one of the most beautiful verses in this entire story. It says, "So Jacob served 7 years to get Rachel, but they seemed like only a few days to him because of his love for her." What a statement. 7 years felt like only a few days. That's how much Jacob loved Rachel. But just when everything seems perfect, the family drama is about to begin again, because Jacob is about to discover that deception runs in more than one direction. The deceiver is about to be deceived. We'll discover what happened in episode 8, Jacob Gets Tricked. If you enjoyed this story, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to Stories by Anna. And here's a question for you. Have you ever waited a long time for something you truly wanted? Let me know in the comments below. God bless, and I'll see you in the next story.